Happy Mask Monday. I have today Chloris, I guess Chloris, Ultra Glow Moroccan Rose Mask. So give that a try. See what we think. Still got the seal on it, so I haven't used it before. Well, maybe I have. I guess I just put the seal back on because part of it's gone. Alright, ooh, it's really gritty. Maybe it's a exfoliating mask, I guess, because it's kind of gritty to grit off your outer layer of skin, I guess. I don't know how long you leave it on. Get my magnifying glass out to read that. It's like really long. I'm just going to leave it on however long till I'm done doing the quiz I'm going to do. Alright. Clean off my hands, and Catherine Loves Cats did it last Mask Monday. She did a 9-question quiz. I don't know where it came from, whether she made it up or she got it somewhere. I don't know for sure, but I stole it. You like my Minnie Mouse thing? At least I call it Minnie Mouse. I think it looks like Minnie Mouse. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. I'm holding the place with this pen that I have. I used to go to this Sunday school class, and it was a bunch of wonderful ladies. It was a church I went to, oh wow, 8-9 years ago now. And I went there quite a few years to their Sunday school class, and they're all like my age, a little older, a little younger. I was kind of in the middle of the age, and several of the women were grandmothers and raising their grandkids. It was kind of interesting, but it was a great group of ladies. So every year at Christmas they have this Christmas party instead of their Sunday school class, and so I always go back once a year. Well, they didn't do it this year, this last Christmas, because of COVID, of course, but I usually go back and, you know, just check in, see how everybody's doing. And somebody makes a centerpiece with pinned flowers, and then we always take them home. So that's where this came from a couple years ago. I mean, there's different ones that she makes depending on her theme of decoration. She decorates great. So anyway, that's where that pen came from. Not that you care. So Mary Catherine Loves Cats 9-question quiz, tag, whatever you want to call it. What is your favorite way to spend a day off? Well, I don't have day offs. All my days are days off now since I don't work anymore. But when I was working, weekends, unfortunately, were like busy catching up on the cleaning and the laundry and the running the kids around and all that kind of stuff. But if it was a day, like a middle of the week day and the kids were in school, sometimes I'd just take a long hot bath and read a good book. Or sometimes I'd go out to lunch with friends. I don't know. If the kids were home and it was summer, maybe we'd go to like a beach or a park. When we lived in Sacramento, there's 2 big rivers in Sacramento, and my sister and I went in together when we bought like a boat. Like a blow-up kind of a raft, more is what it was, like for river rafting. And she had 2 boys and I had 2 boys, and we lived in a duplex together. So we lived next door to each other to help each other out, but we weren't in the same household, so it worked out great. So we would take one car and leave it down at the end of the river, and then, well, the place we wanted to stop. It wasn't the end of the river, and then we'd drive back up with the boat and the kids and us to the launch off place, and then we'd go river rafting down the river to the end. And it was not, I mean, the kids were little. It wasn't like class 4 rapids or anything. It was just a little bit of this and mostly just smooth floating, and other people, and you'd have water balloon fights and stuff like that, and we'd take a cooler with some drinks in it, and it was just a fun time that we'd spend with the kids and each other floating down the river. So anyway, that was a long answer for one question. Would you say you are more of an extrovert or an introvert? When I was a little kid, I know it's hard to believe, I used to be horrendously shy because we moved around a lot and I was always the new kid. So it's hard to always be the new kid. So I was very shy up until as an adult, and both my kids are gifted. What they call them now, gifted and talented, whatever. And the schools back then, they had stuff for the kids that needed extra help, but the smart kids that would there was nothing for them. They just throw them in with the class and they'd be bored to tears. So I was always kind of fighting with the administration and stuff to get them what they needed. So that got me out of being shy, and now I never met a stranger. I just embarrass the kids talking to perfect strangers when we were standing in line for something. Do it all the time. So now I'm an extrovert, and we had this big discussion about extroverts and introverts when the whole COVID thing first started. My whole rest of my family are introverts, and they love just having to stay home and being home. And me, I wanted to get out and be with people. So, but what we decided was, our conclusion we came to is that introverts are recharged by being alone. Extroverts are recharged by being with people. So that's a way to decide if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Is if you get drained being around people, you're probably an introvert. If you get, it makes you feel excited or happy or filled back up being around people, you're probably an extrovert. And the opposite's true for introverts. What's your favorite ice cream topping? Well, I don't eat ice cream much anymore because, dairy bothers me a little bit, but I love a good hot fudge sundae, so I'd say hot fudge. What movie can you watch over and over without getting tired of it? Almost every year I go on a retreat to this crafting place up, it's about hour, a little over an hour north of here. I took pictures of it last year when I went, and almost every time we go, we watch Grease, and we sing the song, so I can watch Grease, especially with the group of other ladies, and we can sing the songs together and just enjoy it. So I'd say Grease. Gone with the Wind's one of my favorite movies too, but I don't watch it hardly ever because it's kind of a chore to watch. It's really long and it's really sad, so as far as an upbeat movie, I like Grease. What animal would be cute if it was scaled down to the size of a cat? Most of them would be, but just because of what I have at my house, I would say I would love to see our little miniature donkeys get even more miniature. That would be fun, having these little miniature donkeys running around. What was the last photo you took? I went and looked in my phone to see. Mostly I take videos for you guys on my phone. But the last actual photo I took, I was at Walmart buying groceries, and my granddaughter and I both hate artificial banana stuff. We don't even like bananas very well, but we really hate the artificial flavor of banana. And I saw banana Twinkies, and I was like, way to ruin a good Twinkie. Ugh. So I took a picture of it, and I sent it to my granddaughter, and she's like, oh. So I took a picture of a banana Twinkies, my last photo I took. This is number 7. What food is delicious but a pain to eat? Well, there's several of them, but the one that came to mind, have you ever eaten, like, not the kind in a jar, but like a fresh artichoke? Because with that artichoke, it's got these prickly kind of points to it, and what you do is you boil it, and then you hold it in your hand, the little leaves in your hand, and you kind of scrape off some of the, well, you might dip it in, a lot of people dip it in mayonnaise or butter, garlic butter or something like that. But then after that, you just scrape it off, hold it at one end and scrape the fleshy part off with your teeth. So that's kind of a big pain to eat, but it's pretty yummy. When you go to a restaurant and they have all you can eat shrimp, but it's in the shell, that's kind of a pain too, getting all that little shell stuff off the shrimp. Number 8, what was the most unsettling film you have seen? Gee, I don't know. I try not to watch horror movies. I don't know, I'm trying to think of one that stuck with me as gross or creepy or whatever. I don't watch horror movies hardly ever. I don't like that genre. There's one that I still remember it. It was, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like a nurse and some stalker guy was out to get her for some reason or another. I don't remember the whole story, but I remember this one scene where she gets a call from him about how he's in her house. So she goes home and her babysitter's there and her little daughter's there. So she goes and she, creeps around the house and with a knife in her hand, and she opens one door and the babysitter's just asleep, fine. Creeps and she opens up the next door and her daughter's asleep just fine. So she looks all over the whole house, under the beds, in the closet. She looks everywhere, doesn't find the guy. So she's like, whew, and she puts the knife down to pick up the phone to call the police or whatever, and he's hiding under the table where she puts down the knife, and he reaches out from under the table and grabs the knife. And then of course she gets saved in the end and all that. But if I have to watch a scary movie, that's more the kind I like, more the suspense kind, not the slasher kind. But I still remember that scene where, I mean, you always know something else is going to happen because it's too soon. At the movie hasn't ended yet. There's not enough. There's still more time left, so something's going to happen. But that was a surprise. I think everybody screamed when that happened. What one thing can instantly make your day better? Hugs from grandkids. Don't get them very often. They're getting to be teenagers, so especially my grandson doesn't want to give you a hug, but a hug from a grandkid can instantly make your day better, or even spending time with them. So how are you doing? If you want to steal these questions, I'm too lazy to write them down in the bottom of mine, but if you go to last week's Mask Monday for Mary Catherine Loves Cats, I'll try and find the video and link it for you. She's got all the questions typed in. She's not as lazy as me. This is dry. I look like a kabuki dancer. Do you know what that is? I need the red lipstick though. In Japan, they wear this totally white makeup and bright red lips in their kimonos and stuff, and they do this stylized dance. That's what with as white as I am, that's what I look like. See if this will come off with my paper towel, if I need to turn this off. Oops, there goes the hair thing. I also did a video last night, another cooking one. I'm gonna put up for you. I made some quiche. I made two different quiches. I made one with artichokes and spinach and green onions and cheese, of course, and eggs and milk and all that. But then I also made one with ham and cheese. So I'm going to put the video up of what the proportions are and all that for that, and you can maybe have it for dinner tonight. You don't have to. If you don't have pie crust, I just buy it's not the ready formed pie crust. It's like rolled up in a tube, and you roll it out yourself, but you're not making it from scratch, but you're kind of, you roll it out of the tube and put it in your pie plate. And I made one 9-inch and one 8-inch, and so I made the 8-inch one, so I had some left over and made myself more like a frittata because I don't do gluten. So you can put it in just like a bowl or a ramekin. That's what I did. Or if you want to make a whole one for the whole family without a crust, you just spray it with, you know, Pam cooking spray and just put all your ingredients in it with no crust, and it'll still form into, like, you can pick it up with a, you know, with a pie server or whatever, and it's fine with no crust. In fact, I kind of like it better with no crust. So you can do it either way, with or without crust. So if you don't have a crust or you don't want the crust, you can just make it and call it a frittata, which is basically a quiche with no crust. That's what a frittata is, basically. Quiche, you can kind of put anything in it. The base is usually, at least the bases I always use, is usually 6 eggs and a cup of half and half, and then whatever else you want to put in it. Well, I am going to go. I got some stuff to do. I'm going to send out some friend mail. So is it coming to you? I'd love to send one to every single one of you, but I ran out of padded envelopes, and I'm cheap. But there might be one coming to a mailbox near you real soon. Gonna mail them out today. Well, I need some makeup on now. I need to wash my, I'm still feeling kind of gritty. So this paper towel didn't quite do it. I'm gonna have to go use some makeup wipe or something to get the rest of the grit off. I hope you have a great day. It is Monday, so I hope you have a great week. And look for my recipe I'm going to put up there. I hope you enjoy your. We're having decent weather. It's mid to high 60s, so after our snow week, I'm enjoying that. So I hope you are having decent weather too. And I have something new for the Friday 5 clothes thing is out the door, but I have a new idea, so be sure and tune in Friday and see what my new idea is. And we'll do that for a little while. We'll see how long that lasts, but be watching Friday to see what I'm going to do. Talk to you real soon.